Commerce Committee, Economic Infrastructure Subcommittee, Representative Busada, CS for House Bill 1451, a bill to be entitled an act relating to utility services.
Representative Busada, you're recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill simply requires reporting, accountability, and transparency on municipal utilities.
Are there any questions? President Henson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, is Section 4 a part of your original bill?
President Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There may have been a Section 4 in the original bill. This bill has had multiple amendments through the committee process. This is the 4th year that I have carried a bill related to municipal utilities and have had different iterations after talking to multiple stakeholders.
Further questions? Leader Driscoll, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rep, what is the projected administrative cost for municipalities to comply with these new annual reporting and public meeting requirements?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We don't project any cost. They should already be collecting the information on their own utility system that they run themselves. They would simply need to hand that information over and report it. So there is no projected fiscal impact.
Leader Driscoll, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Was there consultation with smaller municipal utilities about the impact of potential $5,000 a day penalties for reporting?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I've met with dozens upon dozens of municipal utilities over the past 4 years. As far as the $5,000 penalty, they wouldn't have to worry about that as long as they comply with the reporting requirements.
Leader Driscoll, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And how many regional utility authorities in Florida meet the definition in Section 4, meaning they were created after January 1st, 2023?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not sure exactly how many that would be.
Representative Young, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, I'm interested to know, are you aware that a circuit court has ruled on the issue in favor of the amendment and that this matter is currently pending before the First District Court of Appeals?
Do you have a question you don't know the answer to, Representative? You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let's move to Representative Bartleman. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If Section 4 passes, would the locally approved charter amendment be prevented from taking into effect? Because they had an amendment. So if this passes, that would prevent that from taking into effect?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not sure if you're talking about something specific, but that section would preempt it to the state. So if the state has already preempted something, as we do with many other pieces of legislation, it would preempt it to the state.
Representative Bartleman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I guess that makes sense. That answers it. But then what if the vote occurred before this bill?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not familiar with the logistics of the specific incident that you're referencing.
Representative Hart Lohman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, let me ask, has the staff reviewed the constitutional concerns about changing the law while a voter-approved charter amendment is under appeal?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not able to tell you what another person has or has not done.
Further questions? Representative Chambliss, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, has there been a formal review of the potential impact this could have on financial stability or bonding?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't believe that it would have any negative impact on those.
Further questions? Representative Hart Lohman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, my question was, maybe you don't know what other people do, but your staff or the staff that does the analysis, have they taken a look?
I don't think the representative can speak on staff and staff analysis. Representative Oliver, you're recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And thank you, Representative Busada. Representative, I didn't get to hear this through the committee process. Can you talk me through a little bit about how this bill enhances representative government for those that receive utility services that are located outside the municipal boundaries?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Great question. So right now, municipal utility services operate beyond their municipal boundary. They are not regulated whatsoever. They say they don't need to be regulated because the voters can vote for them, and if they don't like what they're doing, they can vote them out of office. But the reality is, the people that are beyond their municipal boundary cannot vote for them. That is taxation without representation. So this puts parameters in place that requires that they have hearings beyond their municipal boundary so those people can have a voice and have a seat at the table. Thank you.
Representative Young, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Representative, in Section 4 on page 9, it says the subject is preempted. What does that include and what does it not include?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It includes any legislation that the state has passed that it's preempted to.
Representative Young, you're recognized.
So, have you done any kind of review in regard to the constitutional concerns about changing the law while a voter-approved charter is in the process of being appealed?
That's been asked and answered. Do you have another question? Representative Skidmore, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, it's my understanding that Gainesville voters approved a charter amendment regarding governance. How does your bill change and or supersede the will of the voters?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill would preempt anything to the state that has already been passed by the state.
Further questions? Representative Skidmore, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, I thank you for your response, but passed by the state meaning not passed by the voters in the local area who are affected. Is that correct?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you could clarify, I'm not following what you're asking.
Representative Skidmore, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So it's my understanding that the voters approved a local amendment regarding the governance of GRU. And this bill supersedes that, and your response was it preempts anything previously passed by the state. But this amendment wouldn't have been passed by the state, it would have been passed by the local voters. So does it preempt that as well?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I still don't think that I'm following exactly what you're saying, but this is not about one specific utility system. Let's make that clear. This is about many municipal utilities throughout our state that are using the utilities as their personal slush funds, and it needs to stop now.
Representative Scamani, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I understand that's the intention of most of the bill, but I'm curious for Section 4, where does the date January 1st, 2023 come from?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thought it was a great date to start with.
Representative Scamani, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the date coincide with legislation that we passed out of this body?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That date, that amendment, that portion of the bill would apply to anything that happens after that date, not about one specific system, not about one that exists. It's about any system that would apply to today and going forward.
Representative Scamani, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate that clarity. Can you name for me the examples post January 1st, 2023 that would be impacted by your bill?
Representative Busada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is not part of this bill. I don't name any specific utility system in this bill.
Further questions? Do we have any amendments?
On the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Read the amendment.
Representative Hinson to offer the following amendment with title amendment, barcode 856341, remove lines 203 through 206, and insert an amendment.
Representative Hinson, you're recognized to explain the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My amendment is simple. It strikes out a late added provision to the bill that has had very little analysis, but would have a significant impact on my residents, including me. Section 4 preempts the governance of a regional utility authority created after January 1, 2023. That specifically was Gainesville Regional Utilities. As written, it applies to only one community at the moment, mine, and would nullify 2 certified election results, 73% in 2024 and 75% in 2025. It would also change the law in the middle of an ongoing judicial process. We have a lawsuit in place. My amendment removes that language and allows HB 1451 to move forward clearly on its own purpose, which is to regulate surcharges outside jurisdictional boundaries. I don't understand why someone in Miami would care about what's going on in Gainesville. I ask for your favorable consideration.
Any questions?
Thank
on
you,
the-
Mr. Speaker.
Any questions on the amendment? Any amendments to the amendment?
None that has, Mr. Speaker.
Any substitute amendments?
None that has, Mr. Speaker.
We're in debate. Representative Henson, Representative Basadi recognized in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To clarify a few things that were just mentioned, this was not late added. It was a timely filed amendment, part of a larger amendment during the committee process. Furthermore, I care about what happens to every single Floridian throughout the entire state, because we cannot forget what we do up here affects every single Floridian, not just our district.
Further debate. Representative Escamani recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really appreciate the passion on all sides on this debate. And I want to just acknowledge and Rep. Hinson say thank you, because we have been having debates over GRU in this body. The fact that I even know what GRU is as an Orlando resident is kind of funny, because I have my own utility that I work with. No idea I'd become an expert on GRU, but this body has been debating GRU for a long time. And the residents have pushed back and have voted to really maintain independence on this. And so, yes, the language comes from committee, but there's concern from Gainesville and surrounding areas that we are targeting specifically GRU to preempt it back to the state of Florida, which was the debate we had during the 2023-24 session. So I would just encourage us, if you like other parts of the bill, this is the piece of really collective concern. And I think removing the language is just good. It's good policy. It respects local control and also respects the will of those voters over in Gainesville. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Further debate on the amendment. President Henson, you're recognized to close.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I'm offering this amendment for 3 simple reasons. First, the voters in my community spoke clearly and overwhelmingly. 73% and then 75% voted for change. That vote was certified. A court ruled they had the right to vote on it, and we should not override the people. Second, this issue is before the courts. The First District Court of Appeal is reviewing the case right now. This body has long respected the idea that we do not change the law in the middle of active litigation. We should allow the judicial process to play out. Third, the people most affected by this language have not had a real chance to weigh in. Section 4 was added at the final committee stop, not originally. My residents did not have the opportunity to review it. Local government in my area have raised serious concerns, and they've sent thousands of emails out, by the way, about how this broad language could affect bonding, operations, and local authority beyond just this governance issue. And may I add, the GRU authority that the state has put in place has made a circus of our utility. A circus act, I tell you. The CEO is giving himself large raises, $20,000 and $30,000 at a time, and there's more. Now I want to be clear. I am not asking you to vote yes because you think the GRU authority is good or bad. I am asking you to vote yes to let the process play out. Don't nullify the votes of 40,000 GRU ratepayers, 75% of the public, and I'm talking both sides of the aisle. Republicans and Democrats want this changed, and allow the judicial process to proceed without legislative interference. And for those reasons, colleagues, I ask for your favorable support.
All in favor of the adoption of the amendment, please signify by saying yay. All opposed, say no. Please show the amendment has not been adopted. Read the next amendment.
None that has, Mr. Speaker.
Show the bill rolled over. Third reading. Representative Basadi recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the rules be waived and CS for HB 1451 be read a third time by title and placed on final passage.
Representative Basada moves that the rules be waived and CS for HB 1451 be read a third time by title and placed on final passage. All in favor say yay. Opposed, no. Show the motion adopted. Read the bill a third time by title.
By Commerce Committee, Economic Infrastructure Subcommittee, Representative Busada, CS for House Bill 1451, a bill to be entitled an act relating to utility services.
Are there any amendments?
None of that, Mr. Speaker.
Is there a debate? Representative Basada, you recognized to close.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I ask for your support on this legislation that puts our residents first, that says that municipal utilities cannot fund their political wants off the backs of hardworking Floridians. Thank you.
The question now recurs on final passage of CS for HB 1451. The clerk will unlock the machine and the members will proceed to vote. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? The clerk will lock the machine and announce the vote.
81 yeas, 26 nays, Mr. Speaker.
Show the bill passes. Read the next bill.